Hi everyone, Captain Rob Thompson here. Today we're doing the wheel bearings again. I'm just going to show you how to get this side off, just in case you never have before. You got what looks like a bearing buddy on top here. What we're going to do is just knock that off. Try to get it moving. This one's on there good. I'm gonna get the screwdriver on it, pop it out. Stubborn. There we go. Here, see, we have our old pin right there. And we're going to remove that. Grab my tool there. Here it is. We're going to bend those back out of the way. This isn't really a cotter pin, it's just a pin. We're replacing it with a cotter pin. That side's fine, that's good. That's it, just that little nub is stopping us. This is a whole solid pin, not like a cotter pin. It's split in two. Come on. Come on out. There we go. That's it. That solid pin right there. That's what's doing it. Locking us up. There we go. Not a whole lot to it to get this part off. Alright, I'm gonna pop these off for you guys. how you get them off of there. You see our old oil seal on the back there, grease seal. Everything's in there. Make sure you hang on to your flat washer. They never give you a new one of those. Here's our old bearing that was in it. Everything's still wet, no corrosion. They're not bad. They're just from 2013, and now this is 2018. They've been underwater quite a few times. Everything on the inside looks good. We're just going to do a regular service on these, and I'll show you the rest of that stuff coming up here. First thing I wanted to show you was how to pack bearings. A lot of guys, if you go out and spend the money, you can get what looks like a cone shape, and your bearing fits on it. There's another top that screws on it and a Zerk fitting, and you can just use a grease gun to pressurize it up into it, but I do it the old school way, so I'll show you. What I do is I just take a wad of grease in the palm of my hand. I take the bearing, and what I do is I just scoop at it. And by scooping at it, it'll push it up through the bearing. And what you'll see is, you see how you get the little chunks coming up through? That is the grease coming up through the bearing, so you know it's packed. So I just go around. I just keep doing the same thing. Just real slow. See, this is what I'm doing, but just faster. It's just scooping at it. And you can see it's coming up through the bearing. So I'm just going to go around and do that. And that is how I pack them. And it gets right through everything. Now they have a little bit more grease than not enough. Alright, so I showed you that part. I've greased everything up already. The new races are already in, because that takes a while to show you how to do that part. But you're basically just putting in a center punch and just banging down and around and popping out the old race, putting in the new ones, and then using the old ones to help bang the new ones in place. But I'll save that for another time. This one, we're just going to show you how to pack the bearings and put your seal in. Alright, so I got the back of my hub. She has the galvanized hubs, which are good. They last a lot longer than the painted ones, but the painted hubs are a lot cheaper. So what I'm going to do is I have my other bearings packed already. I've got this one packed. I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to take my seal, put it right on the back side. You want your soft side facing out. You want your cup side facing down inside to hold everything. And what I do is use a block of wood, and I'm going to put that on the back side of it and whack it in place, because that is going to keep everything flush. You see how it is on there? Everything is nice and flat. I have no high spot, no low spot. So that is perfect. My bearing is already inside there, and then I can slide this right onto the axle. My axle is greased up. I didn't have to cut anything off, so there's no burrs on it or anything. Otherwise, I would sand those down. Here's my other bearing. I'm going to slide it straight in like that all the way. This one I have just a regular flat washer that goes over the top. Slide that on. And then I have my nut. Now my nut is grooved for the cotter pin to go through, so it's going to have to stop at one of these grooves to get the cotter pin in. But I am not going to tighten this all the way and set it until my wheel is on. I want my wheel weight on there so I know where to adjust this to, because I don't want it too loose and I don't want it too tight. And you can never have too many rags either, because this is a mess. And I always have the cardboard down as well too to put everything on. I don't want to ruin the brand new floor. Alright, so we're going to move this stuff out of the way. That's going to go on the other side. Jack this back up again. Now I have my jack here. Right behind my jack, I have blocks stacked up behind it. So if this does let the pressure off and come down, it's only going to come down about an inch, and then my blocks on the backside are going to catch and hold everything. So I'm not playing that game where I'm going to get pinned under here. Alright, there we go. So, put your nuts back on, but make sure you always check these. After you go run it down to the boat ramp, run it home, check them again. I like putting about half an hour to an hour on them, and then going around and checking everything, because they will be a little bit loose. So, I'll get 2 of these on here, and then I will check the nut, just to keep the wheel on. So as of right now, a little loose on there. Alright. So my adjustable is MIA right now. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to tighten my nut down just a little bit. Now see, that's a little bit better. If I can get about a revolution or 2 out of it without it running away, or without it just stopping abruptly, then I know I have about the right amount of preload on it. Because it is going to work its way in and seat itself. But what you want to do too is once you're driving, you want to come back, check it. Make sure you're going to feel a little warmth to it. It doesn't want to be hot, and if it's cold, it may just be free spinning on you a lot, and you have a lot of slack in there, and you may start to hear thunk, 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 and you'll know it to be a little too loose. Right now, that's just because I don't have my wheel on tight. But that's right about it. Now I gotta line up my holes, see where everything is. If I go past, it will be too tight. If I come back, it will be just about right. That's it. Perfect. Alright. Get my new cotter pin. Goes right in, fits in the groove. Pull my cotter pin up tight. Gotta make sure too you leave enough room to get your bearing buddy cap back on it. You don't want to be blocking it. That little nub's gonna be in the way. Alright. And this one, our bearing buddy has a little rubber grommet in the middle of it because you have a Zerk fitting on the end. So we're going to pop that out of the way, take it out of there, put the cover back up on. Again, we're going to use the block of wood. We're going to cover it. Yeah, it's back on there, perfect. Block of wood helps out a lot. We're gonna go get the grease gun. Pop it on the fitting. Now this is actually just greasing through the center of the axle. It's not like a bearing buddy where it's pressurized around the outside. So I'm also going to fill around the outside as well. Fill up all the air spots I can with grease. Because then I'll just displace the water. So water can't get in. Alright, you got that. Put your rubber grommet back in. And this side is done and ready to go. I'll show you guys a little bit more with the other side. Alright, almost done here. Last thing I like to do, wipe everything down when you're done, so you don't get it flinging to the outside, because once you're spinning down the road, it's going to start moving itself away. Centrifugal force will pull it out and get everything greased up. And the last thing you do, once you bring everything down on the ground, make sure you put your star back on here, tighten everything after you use the impact on it. I got about almost 2 turns on the other side for each nut, so make sure you go ahead and use that. Keep it with you too, just in case, because you're going to want to check everything again after you go to the ramp and maybe back home or maybe at the ramp. Put your hand on it, check for heat, go back around, hit everybody again just to make sure everybody stays taut and your wheel's not going to come off on you down the road. I've been doing this over 20 years now, and thank God nothing's happened yet, so it means you're doing something right. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for watching.